last week the Bronx had a travesty.
Yes.
What happened?
Two of their bigger figures of today
Yes.
broke up, Desus and Mero.
Okay.
We couldn't really report on it too much last week because the
It
details were
just
kind of
happened.
like it just happened so quick.
Mhm.
But more has been revealed.
Yes.
And being that we have Bodega Hive in the building, Reggie,
Me.
she's been a fan. She's been a
He's a friend to me.
stand. You get what I'm saying? I think I want to kind of elaborate on it because now that details are coming out, this is what I'm hearing. This is some of the rumors that's on the internet, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of people are trying to put their manager in the middle of this, right?
Yeah.
And I watched the video. Actually, Reggie, you explain, and then I want to
I have
explain the
just
video
quote,
that I
and then we
saw.
could talk about it.
Absolutely, because it's really interesting how the politics and just the imagery of how they're trying to portray this whole thing.
Okay.
So reports came out. This wasn't directly from anybody, but they're like, 5 sources have said, and a reputable source did report on this, Vulture. So they were saying, according to 5 separate sources, Victor Lopez, their longtime manager, has been asked by Showtime, the network that they were signed to no longer attend tapings or appear in meetings because there were several formal complaints that were made about his like asshole behavior. This is a quote: asshole behavior, including bullying, screaming, generally making people feel bad on the show. And then, so he was asked, the manager was asked to not like be like a part anymore. And then Mero was the one who felt loyal to the manager, whereas Desus like agreed with this. He was like, okay, this is what we have to do to move on to keep the show. And that was where the dispute was. And then that was reportedly the reason why this happened. That was like the reasoning, the whole PR shit.
Yes.
And since then, Mero has spoken on Twitch in depth about it, but basically not about the manager situation. He spoke and he was basically saying the whole like, we move on. Like he had that type of like speech.
okay.
So that's all we know for now.
Okay.
Well, it's funny, right? So y'all know I kind of get obsessed with things and I go down like YouTube rabbit holes, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
me watching a Brad Pitt bio documentary and all that shit. I shouldn't be watching that stuff,
Better
but I
know
do.
his favorite color.
You get what I'm saying? Like I have no reason
Nigga better know
to
his
do
favorite
those
color.
kind of things.
Yeah.
But I have, right?
Yeah,
I've done
personality.
it. And so with the Desus and the Mero, I'm kind of intrigued because it happened so sudden.
Yeah.
And I always look at situations, especially where there's a lot of opportunity and it doesn't see its full potential, right?
Okay.
Like you see groups, you see bands, you see podcasts, they break up all the time. Like this is just a part of it, right?
Yeah.
I was watching The Pivot, and Kevin Hart had asked the cast, the crew of The Pivot, like, yo, have you ever asked yourself why all of these bands break up? Right?
Yeah.
They always break up. Everybody breaks up.
Yeah.
Destiny Childs breaks up. The Jackson 5, they were brothers, and they broke like bands
That's
and groups.
fly.
The Migos, like we're gonna talk about it a little bit later. The Migos, they're
Oh, yeah,
family.
perfect
They like
transition.
a lot of people fucking break up all the time, and so with podcasts, like I'm super invested in it. So I found this video, and one of the things, and even before I talk about the video, it seems the optics are Showtime or the people at Showtime believe in Desus. Am I saying his name right?
Desus. I think it's Desus,
Okay,
right?
cool.
Yeah.
I don't wanna
I
fucking
heard
make it-
that his name is Daniel, and people used to call him Jesus because he was good with tech. So
Go
Desus.
computers. Oh my God,
Okay, cool. That's dope. I didn't know
Do my
that.
research.
He's Bodega
I didn't know
Hive.
that. But
You guys are weird.
he's being pushed by, or he's the personality, the person that the network sided with, essentially.
Desus?
And again, I don't know for sure.
Which
this
one
is
is
just
Desus, by the
He's
way?
the
Desus
dark
is the
skinned
dark
one.
skinned one.
Okay.
Yeah,
the
the shorter
dark-
one. And he plays more of like the he navigates the interviews a little bit more.
Okay.
Where Mero seems to be a little bit more of the comedic relief.
Comedic
They're
relief.
both
Yeah.
funny in their own right.
They
play
work.
their roles. They play their roles, and it worked for a very long time. But
Yeah.
it appears that Jesus has the opportunity to guest host Jimmy Kimmel,
Yes, that's
which is a major deal.
He's definitely doing it this summer. It's because there's a bunch of people in this lineup. It's like a guest lineup for
Yes.
Jimmy, and he's included in one of the people.
He's
Yeah.
included
Yeah,
on
yeah.
guest
I'm telling you
hosting Jimmy Kimmel.
That's how
right?
big they've got, and they've been on Jimmy Kimmel multiple times, by the way. Like and late night. No, oh my God, what's the other one? Actually, never mind. But they've been
Fallon.
on all the Caucasian
Fallon.
late night shows.
Yeah.
Fallon.
multiple
They've
times.
been
They've
there.
been on. Yes,
They've been doing it, right?
Oh my God, he got to guest host?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's how big they have gotten
Yeah.
from a little Twitter freaking friendship.
Exchange.
Yeah.
So when Reggie says that Showtime or people are putting out reports and it's kind of disparaging the Mero, some people are saying
okay,
that
okay,
it's
okay.
because the network is using those political
Optics.
games. They're using those optics
Uh-huh.
to try and separate the two and saying, yo, Mero was the problem. Desus, he's
Right.
not the problem. He's on board. He's playing ball. And now the network is siding with that one. And again,
Okay.
I'm just going based off some of the things that I read, some of the things that I
Yeah.
saw. And also, watching Mero on Math Hoffa's podcast, like I saw his like some people it's very important for you to stay intact with who you are.
That's
right?
a fact.
Like some people
really live by that.
Yeah, like I don't care about the fame, I don't care about the opportunity, I don't care about the money.
Yeah.
Like I got here by being me, and I'm gonna stay here by being me.
Right.
And I want the people around me to still continue to be that way. Like,
Right.
if you watch Math Hoffa's podcast, Mero made it clear, like, yo, I am still the Bronx is in me. You can't.
He's
You,
the epitome of a Bronx man.
you can't
really
take that
is.
from
Like,
you. Get what I'm saying? So
Right.
I could see how maybe there was a dispute in that space. And again, we're all just kind of fucking speculating.
Okay.
But I
Yeah,
thought
no.
it was kind of weird that the announcement was, or the breakup was, the speculation was, hey, Mero is siding with the disgruntled manager, and Desus has has an opportunity to work on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
Yeah, I can completely agree because what I've seen with the two of them, you can tell Desus is the one that doesn't mind doing the bigger gigs. That doesn't mind. Again, I had mentioned last week, Desus doesn't. I mean, yeah, Desus doesn't have kids.
Yes.
So he don't mind maybe being in Cali for 2-3 months working on a
Yeah.
movie. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't mind going to Vegas real quick to do this. So I could completely see that. Again, that's why it's very important when working in groups. We do this a lot, right? Even when we do meetings. What is everybody's
Want.
what is it, right? What does everybody want from this? And if it changes, just continue to let us know. Also important to know who you're dealing with, right? So again, we're speculating, right? But Desus knew he was dealing with, and Mero knew he was dealing with. So I'm gonna be honest with you, just from my perspective, I think this was the inevitable for people like that. Because it just looks like, we can never get to a point now where, all right, what we want to do now makes sense together.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that doesn't surprise me at all. I can see
And
that.
it sucks
Yeah.
because the dynamic of those two, like, they're not synonymous without each other. They're
Right.
synonymous with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, their brand doesn't really work one without the other.
We about to see, right?
Well, now they're about
Well,
to
will
try
it?
to do
Yeah.
that,
Well, I say, well, will it? And to be very honest with you, hering about the Jimmy Kimmel, that's gonna work, man. Like I'm not gonna
yeah.
hold you.
But is
it's
it-
one of those things.
But is
I
it
don't
though?
know.
Because
Jimmy
it's
Kimmel's
not
cool,
the
bro.
decent show.
I
And
know,
it's not the
I'm saying,
Mero
like-
show.
Right.
But you got to understand.
Right.
Got to understand.
Right.
That the audience, Jimmy Kimmel's audience,
Uh-huh.
and then him bringing, and then it's Desus, right?
Desus,
Desus
yep.
bringing in some of those people from his audience. Bro, that is a fucking good idea, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you know,
Kimmel's cool. Kimmel's cool, bro.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no, we're not
absolutely.
saying not that. That is like a huge platform. That's
Right.
gonna
That's
really
gonna-
catapult
yeah,
something.
yeah,
that's
But
gonna
I'm just
catapult
thinking
his
like this
whole
is his
shit.
first like solo thing. I'm
Oh,
very
I get
curious.
it. I'm not
That's what we were
commenting on
saying.
that.
And we
Yeah,
were
I'm
saying,
not
like,
commenting on
yo,
that.
Because a lot of their
pressure,
success-
I'm just like,
pressure.
wow. I'm
and-
still stuck on that.
Yeah.
Reggie, you tell me if I'm wrong.
crazy.
Some of like their magic is their chemistry.
They're
For
the banter. They
The
go back and
banter.
forth, like this
Yeah.
at the
I
speed
see
of
what
light.
you're
saying.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying? So now
Yeah.
you
The
just out there on the
pressure, oh my
island on
God.
like the biggest stage ever. Essentially.
Yeah.
Like Jimmy
And
Kimmel,
he's
he's
been so
one of
big
the ones. You know what I'm saying? Like he's really one of the ones. So
get it.
I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting. I'm glad like some of the details are coming out. I don't know if there's beef. Have y'all heard any beef or any like?
But that's my
Malice.
thing.
I'm not gonna say
That's my
that.
question that I have of everybody. You know, I've seen all this stuff online, but I'm saying, have both either of them said that there was a problem?
I mean, Mero put out his statement on Twitch, and it sounded like, Reggie could quote me better maybe, but he said something along the lines of, "Yo, we wanted to go in different directions.
Okay.
We did what we wanted to do with that.
Okay.
and now we're just gonna split. But again, you know how it be, man.
But-
you gotta dress it up a little bit when y'all break up.
Yeah.
So you can't look like the angry ex. You know what I mean?
So my
You got like
question,
the ex that's just like,
as a person that's not
Yeah.
like seeing, so where is the discourse coming from as far as like the negativity, like
Think
anger?
about it.
Like where's that
Look
coming from?
Think about all the
It was
breakups
sudden?
that we've seen just in general, and the discourse that was created after the breakups. You get what I'm saying? So everybody else's mind goes directly to those situations now. Like, oh shit, where's the shade at? Oh man, where's the smoke? It got to be more. You know what I'm saying? Because we've seen so much other smoke with other breakups.
Okay.
So now it's synonymous for fans to go, oh no, it's beef. Like you gotta think about it. If you're not together, fans are always gonna be like, it's beef.
I've been through that.
Real shit. Yeah.
And I think that's why I'm super sensitive to it, because I've been through that, where it's like, yo, I'm not talking, like, just because you don't see us working together anymore doesn't mean I'm like, yo, bro, we're super beefing.
That's
That's
a
why I was
fact.
asking
That's
if
a fact.
something actually happened to cause that.
No.
Granted,
Yeah.
if there's smoke, there's fire. I'm the same type person.
Right.
I'm not gonna be dumb and be like, yo, something probably happened.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that deep as niggas is making it too. At the
I
same
don't know,
time,
but it happened so suddenly. Because if it was
But
just,
did it?
I think it's the opposite. I think
no,
it's the
if
opposite.
it just happened
Yeah.
like just like oh hey guys, by the way, the show is and like I think that would have been easier to digest, but it was very sudden. It was like, hey guys, by the way, the show's not coming back.
They canceled the show like
They didn't-
mid-season.
they didn't have, like,
it wasn't like a
final
finale.
episode.
There wasn't a finale. Like they didn't finish the
It's an
contract. Like
It's an
when
issue.
there's two
Yeah.
guys from the
It's an
Bronx,
issue.
you know what I'm
You
saying?
got it.
Like
You got it.
we know what they built together. Like
You
if
got
you can't push through that, like there got to be some kind
Yeah,
of
you
issue,
got it.
in my
I just
opinion.
want to
If there
play
was a
devil's
grand
advocate.
finale,
Just
then
wanna
we
be
would have
devil's
been like,
advocate.
okay, they grew apart, they want to do different
They
things,
wanna
yada
do
yada.
things,
But
right.
this, I don't know. I
You
think
got it.
something
And-
happened.
I
and
totally
you know, it
I agree
happened
with you. I'm
suddenly.
on your side. I'm on your side.
It
I agree.
happened suddenly, but you could tell this has
Yeah.
been a gradual.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Well, I
get it.
I
You can
heard,
tell.
and again,
Yeah.
I'm not Bodega Hive at all.
Right,
but a lot of their facts been coming out. Reggie, please fact check me if I'm wrong.
I love
But
his role.
I heard that. I heard that they used to always joke about something like this. They would
Oh,
joke
yes.
about,
Oh, my
hey,
God.
we're gonna build something great. We're gonna be special. We're gonna do all these amazing things. We're gonna get rich, and then we're gonna break up. Is that true?
Yes, it was a running joke like, oh, we're gonna be Hollywood and just like never talk to each other again.
That's what happens.
Yo,
But this was like in the
words?
beginning of the. Okay, so they have.
Tell you about words.
They met
man.
on Twitter or whatever. They got Opportunity Complex. They had a show on Complex, show on Viceland, whatever. But throughout all that, they had the Bodega Boys podcast, and that's where the running joke was amongst the fans and all that. They would just say this all the time,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
like we would laugh. But this is literally how it played out, and
People
it's
don't.
so sad.
People don't
Like,
understand how much words mean things. As I'm getting older, I'm actually on that team.
Yeah.
Even when we say things when we're drunk.
Yes.
When we say things when we joke with people.
Yes.
These are all facts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm getting older, I'm really starting to understand this more. Like
Yeah.
this is more to it.
When you say things out, when you say things, I remember somebody says to me, when you say things out loud, you're listening. That really stands with me. Like when you say something out loud, you are listening.
That's
Meaning-
why I can't call myself broke.
Yeah, because that's exactly you're hearing that.
You're
and
just
that
gonna become a brokey.
is
Okay,
you
but that's
influencing
why,
yourself.
Can't
that's
say certain
why
shit.
I know. I hate to bring this back, but that's why I know kids are going to like change our lives and all that. But I don't like when we're like, oh my god, kids are gonna ruin my life. Because what if the universe really puts that on us?
I hear you. I'm actually debating that. You know, that's
I'm not
actually
mad
something
at
that's been coming up in my life too.
What?
Yeah.
You don't know if you even want to. I mean, this is like
No,
a
I
sensitive
want them.
situation.
But the more I think about it, the more I'm taken aback.
It's a
That's a
lot.
real conversation. It's a real conversation I've been having with
lot.
my partner where I've been like,
Shosky.
man, like, yo, this is like things are really gonna change. You know what I
Change
mean? And there's certain things
forever.
that we like,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, we're not gonna.
Because we move so quickly. We don't realize how quickly we move without
Facts.
kids.
And
Real shit.
That's right.
We just wake up,
And then
we
suddenly you
plan,
can't
and
leave
we
the crib
go.
for 2 years. Like
Now you gotta
yeah.
wake up, right, Reggie?
Shit.
Now you
More
gotta
than
wake
that.
up, provide. I was just thinking about this. You gotta feed someone. You have to be there
Yeah.
emotionally for them.
Yeah. It's a lot.
activities.
It's a lot,
You know what
man.
I'm saying?
It's
It's
a
a real
Not like-
job.
And I'm in a position to have a choice to have a kid because obviously not everybody has a choice. It just
Right.
happens for some. But in my position, I'm like, yo, this is a real choice that I have a chance to really look at.
You could really plan a kid.
And right,
He has a house.
playing children,
Word.
and I look at it,
Planned children.
and
Word.
I
Hashtag
say,
planned.
damn, like even that, I'd be like, oh, one of these rooms have to be the kids' room. I'm like, oh, so I gotta take that room out. I like
Look
this
at that.
room. You know what I mean? Like I got my Zen room, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna have to be ripped out. I'm
Yeah,
like,
change
'cause
the
that's
They
Zen
can
to
take
the
the
baby.
bar.
I thought about that too. I was like, I got a full bar. Like I have a room
no,
Like,
that's
would
a
that be
bar.
nursery?
No,
and I
that's
say,
staying.
damn, I'm gonna have to take that out.
that's staying.
And I was like, wow. At some point, I'm just thinking about my life.
That's
moving
staying.
forward. I'm like,
Yes.
wow, my things. Because you can't be selfish when you have a kid, but there's still this part of me that exists that I'm honest with myself.
Right.
There's still a selfishness that I have with my time and my. So I say to myself, listen, if I'm gonna do this father thing, I'm gonna murder this shit, right?
know.
Like I'm
like
all
you do
in.
everything else.
Yeah,
Right,
fuck my
right.
career,
Yeah.
fuck everything.
Oh, but it can't be like that.
but it got, but
Yeah,
Because they need you as a
shouldn't-
successful.
yeah, but no,
career artist.
Yeah.
But that's for providing. I'm saying, but
Oh,
my
yeah,
kid
yeah.
would come first.
Oh yes,
Of course.
So
Oh
don't
yes.
really put my kid
Okay,
comes
okay,
first.
got it,
You understand what I'm
got
saying?
it.
So
Yeah.
I would make
Yep.
decisions where it's like, yo, we got this movie we want you to do. You got to be 5 months. I got to think about that. Like it's not something I'm like, bet
You see
I'm gonna
what
go
I'm
kill
saying?
this and we gonna make a
And
bag.
that's probably what Desus and Mero came across a lot. I'm sure
Okay.
there's a lot of stuff that they probably, one maybe presented and the other was like, yo,
Yeah.
can't do it.
Okay.
But
Like that 4 kids says a lot to me.
Kids have a lot.
Think about how different they are in personalities. Think about like what they do in their spare time, right?
Right,
So
right.
Desus, he's going on Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Network, corporation, mainstream media, predominantly white
tough
audience.
gig.
Boom. He's going to
fact.
Desus is going to Jimmy Kimmel, right?
Yeah.
Then you have Mero. The first place I seen him is on a podcast with a battle rapper, Matt Hoffa.
Matt,
An
yeah.
amazing rapper. You know what I'm saying? Amazing battle rapper, amazing
Super
podcast.
crazy.
Shout
Shout
out
to
to that
Matt.
content, right? But in the same breath, it's like, all right, clearly they see the landscape differently for
Differently.
what it is
Totally.
that the audience just the
absolutely.
audience they want to
a
talk
great
to
point. That's a
seems
great
to be
point.
different.
That's a great
Because
point.
one is like, yo, I want to go sit and have barbershop talk.
Yeah.
I want to go sit and drink on camera and talk with some niggas that I know is from around the way, and also express that, yo, I'm from around the way. Like,
Right.
Desus isn't getting on camera saying, yo, I'll smack the shit out of you. Whereas Mero, he said it at least 8 times in his interview with Math Hoffa, like, yo, I'm like that. Like, meaning, I'm not a tough guy, right? I'm not a gangster. He kept reaffirming, look, I don't look for problems, but I will fuck you. Like, I'm like that.
Right.
Whereas Desus, he's catering to a whole different audience.
He's not
Like,
even on that energy.
Okay.
late night television is completely different.
different
So
audience.
Absolutely.
to the core of who they are
Right.
seems to be a little bit different. Their goals, you get what I'm saying? Their reach, their audience seems to be a little bit different. So
Right.
maybe it was inevitable. But at the same time, in the same breath, the fact that it happened so sudden, the fact that these two guys
I agree
came
with you.
from literally Twitter, came from nothing. And I'm only saying that not because I know them personally, but because I do
Seen
hear them.
and
They've
hear.
seen,
And I
they've
see-
said
you
that.
know,
They
they
always
say it
like,
all the time.
They always say like they had to share a Metro card to get to the studio. Like they
real
came
shit.
from that
Yeah.
to this.
And-
So
and so
beautiful,
when
man.
you
That's-
come from that,
that's
but listen,
beautiful, bro.
but when you come from that and you can't figure that shit out,
I know.
what happened?
I know.
something is there.
Yeah. So
So it had like I can't
You know what it is? I'm
fathom
gonna
that
be honest
thought.
with you. Like on some psychology shit. If I had to guess, like resentment builds
Over time.
over time. I'm telling you,
You
it's
don't
like
address that shit.
I'm telling you, you never address certain things that actually bother you. As friends, you do things together because y'all know what y'all created together.
Are they friends, Reggie?
They,
Oh,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, well,
That's a good question.
throughout this time they were, but I don't know about recent years. I
Right.
don't know them personally, so
Got it,
I
got
don't
it,
know
got it,
what.
got it.
And they
Yeah.
had to keep going because they kept getting these opportunities. They were like, okay, fine, bro, let's just do this. Like,
Right.
and that shit exploded.
I can only imagine some of the resentment built up on both sides. Like, yo, this dude had me do this. Yo, this dude don't want to do this.
It's
See, I don't like speculating.
you know,
I
Yeah,
don't
I
like-
know,
but,
that's
but,
what
but
I'm
see,
saying.
but see, this
That's
is
my
not.
thing.
But Dad,
I hear you. I
this
hear
is
you.
not.
I hear
But
you,
bro,
though. I
this is
hear
not
you.
even for Desus and Mero.
Yeah.
This
I
is
hear you.
psychology
I hear you.
shit.
I hear you.
Human
This
This
being
applies to
shit.
everybody.
But
Everybody.
this is
Can
everybody.
I speculate real
Human
quick? Can I
being
speculate really quick?
Yeah.
And
You know, I love
I'm,
the tea.
I'm always
yeah.
I'm always just gonna compare the shit
Yeah, yeah.
because it's like, all right, how do you make this shit work? Right? I said it last week. Like, yo, a lot of prominent podcasts, they go through breakups, they go through ups and downs.
Yeah.
It's just a part. Like a
Shit
lot
about
of
all of
groups,
them.
a lot of groups in general
Guys,
just go
we
through it.
better not go through a messy breakup. We are too mature.
Nah, we-
okay.
Nah,
Us?
we
Please.
learned.
went
We
through
learned a lot.
Let's-
Yeah, we
if-
did.
if
Me and
our-
Alex did
Yeah.
that, so you ain't got to do
Y'all
that.
good.
podcast
We learned
comes
so
to
you
an end.
we don't have to
we
go
walk
through
so
that.
y'all can run.
We
Yeah,
went through that, so you don't have to go through that.
Yeah, we
Okay,
did all that.
us, if we have to part ways in like 5 years or something, we're gonna have a grand finale party. It's gonna be beautiful.
Of course,
Okay,
of
we're
course.
not gonna have a messy ass breakup. We can't.
No,
do that.
if we breaking up,
We
ain't gonna be no
communicate.
party.
Yeah.
Stop.
Savon's gonna whoop some ass.
Oh my god.
Are y'all nuts?
Niggas don't want to pod no more.
Niggas don't want to party because I'm here every day, Dev. I do this every
I
day,
don't
Dev.
want that to happen.
Savon is
so y'all
going
niggas
to
don't wanna
whip
pod?
I'm
ass.
not doing that, bro.
Savon is. I will have to send him an email. Like I'm not. I'm gonna send him an email just to force him to be
Put
professional.
it in 2 weeks.
He's gonna say, I'm gonna whip some ass. He's
We're
like,
gonna
I'm gonna bring
break
me
up,
and my
and what if
dog,
we're, like, trending
Mace.
on
That's gonna
Twitter?
come and my dog is gonna eat your fucking dog.
If I'm being honest, y'all have done so much for me. I can never.
He gonna whip.
That's what he
some
does
That was
everybody.
I'm so
that was
serious.
actually really sweet from him. Yeah,
was.
Yeah, that's a sweet message from
I'm
Savon.
so
He gonna
serious.
whip
I
some
could
ass.
never. I could never. The only
gonna
thing I
kick
ask
some
is you
ass.
give me 2 weeks.
I told you just put a little 2
Just
weeks.
give me a 2 week notice.
So he can find a
If
little.
y'all niggas do that,
replace
like,
us.
wait,
so
hold on,
niggas
hold
can
on.
just find a little.
I'll be
So he
honest.
can replace us.
If we record on Wednesdays and y'all niggas talking about on the Tuesday, yo, it's clip, I might be a little upset. If you give me 2 weeks, bro, I'm gonna give y'all like the most amazing farewell, roses, edible
He gonna
arrangements.
set it ablaze.
like,
Torch that shit up.
He be like, bet, don't come in.
And then I'm gonna be in the
He gonna
corner
hit you
just
one of the bosses
smoking.
that'll say that. You know how you tell your boss he had 2 weeks? No, you know you good.